Welcome back to this week on another episode of the HomeLeagePod where there is no you in league. Cut the fucking music. No rundown today. Story time in the next slide. We'll just get right into it. All right, so you might be thinking, why is Jack upset? Why did he just make himself smaller? We were supposed to do the quad pod, and we did do the quad pod. We did the quad pod early. We had it ready. Unfortunately, you might think, oh, was there another sound error? Maybe you couldn't hear anybody. Maybe you couldn't even hear me. Maybe I never hit unmute after turning the music off, and we lost half an hour of audio. And you might think, you're lying. You never did it. Like, you were lazy and it never happened. Here we are, having a great time on the quad pod, celebrating our victories, talking our predictions. But it's just going to have to remain behind a paywall. And the only way that you ever were going to hear this episode is if you made it to round 2. So unfortunately, there will be no quad pod today. I will do my best to make up for that by doing a little bit of a review on the results. We'll do a little predictions. I'll try to recall what your fellow league mates said about what would happen for each matchup. I certainly remember what I said. So that's where I'm going. We'll do that quick. If the other guys have anything to post, we'll do it. And then I'll try to end this one with a little preview for what we do next week if I can remember to hit the right buttons. So hopefully we get to hear from some other round 2 participants. Maybe they submit some solo videos, some solo pods, so you can hear their wonderful voices and see their beautiful faces. And again, I know it's just exactly who you guys all want to hear from right now. So let's get into it. We'll dive into quickly last week's results. All right, so 3 matchups that mattered. We'll start with the first one. I did note to Glenn that we both thought this was going to be the closest matchup between Ryan and Jimmy. However, it ended up being the biggest blowout. Unfortunately for Jimmy, his team really just could not come through. A little bit of injury, unluckiness from some of his players like Devonta Adams going down in the middle of the game. Dalton Kincaid was kind of banged up. Obviously, Lamar, doesn't feel 100% healthy. So a lot of things going on with his lineup. Rome Odunze ruled out right before the game. So he puts together his lineup with Devonta Smith. He's got Kyle Monangai in there. But unfortunately, the big players that he still had could not come through in round 1. Lamar Jackson with a poor week, relatively speaking. Luckily for Jimmy, Dak also didn't play well, so no blunder to fear there. Monangai just couldn't get it going against Cleveland despite the score. Devonta Smith had a long catch, but that was about it. And Michael Wilson, found the end zone, but nothing really going there. On the other side, however, Baker Mayfield puts up a good performance on Thursday. Chase Brown continues to play decently well. Jackson Smith and Jigba has another 100-yard day. Jennings finds the end zone twice. And then the big one, which I called, and we talked about it on the pod, TreVeyon Henderson goes off against Buffalo. 2 touchdowns, 2 huge runs, and he goes for nearly 30 points, propelling Ryan to the victory. So Ryan moves on. He is our 5 seed? So our 5 seed moves on? I don't know. Next matchup. This one came down to Monday night. Bill down a little bit, but Ty leaving the door wide open. He gets a good salvage day from Javonte Williams. He has a great day from Bijan, great day from Goff, but the rest of his team really did not come through. A couple of injuries here and there. But ultimately, it was not enough, as Bill saw Devon Achane really kind of struggle in Pittsburgh. I think it was cold. The offense was just terrible. You had Ladd McConkey not put up a great day. Bucky Irving got spelled at the end zone, at the goal line. Joe Burrow played pitifully. So really just unfortunate performances on Bill's side. He did have a blunder. I won't pull up the blunder alert, but there's a couple there. Had he started Brissett at QB over Burrow, he wins. I don't know if you're doing that. But then the real big one was Colby Parkinson on the bench and starting Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely, highly touted going into this week by a lot of fantasy talking heads, but unfortunately came through with that big fat goose egg and really cost Bill, who only lost by 11. Parkinson, I believe, had 19 on the bench. And then our final matchup, really, honestly, I would say this is maybe, like, not to brag, but I would say it was maybe one of the best fantasy playoff matchups we've had in our league history, maybe one of the closest. Both players over 115, finished the, final scores within 2.5. Really a crazy, crazy day. Dan had some great, great performances. I think JCM had like his second best performance of the year. Zay Flowers, Brian Thomas had like their second or third. Chris Olave, I think that was his third best. Nico Collins, that was his best. And then on my side, Trey McBride, I think that's his best day. Kenny Gainwell, that's like his third best day. McLaurin, hasn't played much, but that was a good day. That was Barkley's, I think, second or third best day. So really, really, both teams kind of showed up. At the end, Kenny Gainwell on Monday night goes for over 100 scrimmage yards, does not find the end zone, but puts together enough points to propel me over Ned into round two. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We did comment that Tyler beat Bill 3 times this year. I beat Dan 3 times this year. Don't know if that's ever happened once, let alone twice in the same league or in the same season. So kind of interesting from that POV. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So Glenn, obviously on the bye week, his team also goes off. I'm not going to go over it, but Travis Etienne had like 3 catches for 3 touchdowns. Jackson Dart looked good in his return. So we all move on, and the only player or the only team not to score 100 the week prior is Ty, and he definitely noted that on the pod. All right, let's get into our next one here. So we've got our matchups. So I'll start with Ryan and Glenn. Let's confirm that Ryan is the 5 seed. I just don't remember. And we'll do it live. He is the 5 seed. All right. So he's got Baker going again. I don't think he's changing any quarterbacks. He's got JSN going on Thursday night. So that'll be a big, big matchup. He's got Dobbs on Saturday. And then after that, some Sunday. No Mondays in this game as far as I can see quickly. Yeah, no Mondays. So we will know the results for Ryan and Glenn on Sunday evening after that 8:20 game where he's got Travion Henderson. Obviously, Travion can cover a big gap if there is one. Tyler predicted that Ryan would win. I think Glenn also predicted that Ryan would win. I don't remember what Ryan predicted, but maybe he'll tell us. I predicted that Glenn would win. His team is still really good, and I think that his holes are just less jarring than Ryan's. Harold Fanning, I think, could be a dud. Dobbs, Jennings, those guys could dud. Dowdle maybe does pretty well. Brown should do fine. Baker, hit or miss. So I just think, Ryan's got good players. I was pretty high on Ryan all year from like a power ranking standpoint. I like his team. I think he's got good running backs. I think, JSN obviously can just put up 35 and, neutralize a good CeeDee Lamb and a good A.J. Brown game right then and there. But ultimately, I think Glenn's team is just too good, and he's going to take that W. On my side, I don't even want to say what I said anymore because things have happened, but I said that I was going to blow Ty out. Ty initially did say that he was going to lose to me, but then he talked about it for about 30 seconds, and he switched, and he said that he's going to win. So I don't really know. I think that I should win. I think Puka goes off. I think Jordan Mason's in a good spot. I think Barkley's in a good spot. Trey McBride's been going crazy. Josh Allen, Cleveland gives me nightmares, but I think he should be able to hopefully outperform Jared Goff, but Jared Goff is getting Pittsburgh at home, so that could be pretty crazy. So I think if I'm being pessimistic, my bad day goes because Puka gets arrested or suspended for making fun of the refs and other people, and then Josh Allen just gets eaten alive by Cleveland in Cleveland. So we'll see. I think that's the way I would lose, but I don't think I'm going to. I actually do think I'm going to blow Ty out, although Ty is looking a little healthier than I was hoping he would be. All right. So that's pretty much it for me. I really don't have more to offer. It's been fun. Oh yeah, so hopefully next week I got everybody on the pod. We didn't really actually agree to it if I was thinking about it more, but I did ask if everybody would do some kind of live stream event to watch, even if it's just like the bulk of games. I imagine next week with like Christmas and everything, things will be kind of spread out. But if we can do a live stream for maybe the 1 p.m. games, where we just can all tune in and watch the other person watching Red Zone or whatever it is, I think that would be fun. I think the guys agreed to that. So hopefully we'll have that for you next week. And then I will obviously post anything that the guys send over if they want to personalize their podcast a little bit. So sorry for the technical error, but Yeah, no quad pod. Really breaks my heart. Kind of hurting my soul right now to even say that's not happening, but this is what we got. Good luck to you in your other leagues. Good luck to me. And that's pretty much it at this point. So, all right, sayonara. See you later. Goodbye.